In a vague and opaque statement intended to probably validate so-called backtracking allegations, the Ministry of Home Affairs says it is concerned about backtrack and trafficking in persons revelations which continue to appear in sections of the media. The Ministry of Home Affairs, in its statement, added that it wishes to assure that the police will be deployed depending on the evolution of the events and the emergence of any evidence on the matters which have now found prominence in the public domain and can contribute to the image of the country being damaged by the revelations. The so-called revelations have only surfaced in state-owned and controlled media and some like-minded private media. But it is what the Ministry of Home Affairs does not say about backtracking operations, in which evidence has been produced in the past, both in Guyana and the United States and other jurisdictions. That is interesting. The Guyanese police have been in possession of a list of passports that the United States Embassy claimed over 5 years ago was found in the home of a well-known Guyanese businessman from the West Demerara. The then United States Ambassador, Roland Bullen, called on the authorities to have the businessman return the passports that the ambassador indicated are the property of the United States government. It is unclear whether those passports were ever returned to the U.S. government. And persons very close to the current administration are still to be investigated in Guyana for backtracking operations, although a relative and friends of some of the persons were indicted and served time in the United States for alien smuggling. In fact, one of the persons, although indicted, fled the jurisdiction. He still has an open case for backtracking out of Guyana. He and another relative are major investors in the Guyanese economy. The Guyana government never launched an investigation of any kind following the infamous Tom Carroll visa scam too that occurred almost 1 decade ago. In the Tom Carroll case, an individual that is now a senior official in the healthcare sector was named as someone with an invalid immigration past in the United States. The Tom Carroll case also raised questions about the emergence and use of the Phantom Squad, documented in a working paper entitled In Transit, Gangs and Criminal Violence in Guyana, published last year. According to the U.S. federal court websites, particularly in New York and Florida, Guyanese are in the system for alien smuggling, re-entry as deportees, false asylum cases, and visa fraud, among other things. Cases have also emerged on the Board of Immigration Appeals websites. These cases, although the information is widely available, both online and in more detail, on a government-to-government case, are never investigated to ascertain how the individuals were allowed to leave Guyana in the first place. Based on what the Ministry of Home Affairs appears to be saying today, this latest statement from the ministry would indicate that the Guyana police may have said to its subject minister that it will finally investigate trafficking in persons and alien smuggling reports at the Guyana end. For Capital News, Enrico Wolford reporting.